Hey, what's up? Welcome back to South 10 Beer Reviews. I am Tyler. Thank you so much for stopping by. Tonight we've got a beer from Living Waters out of Nashville, Tennessee. But before we get into it, just wanted to encourage you to hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. Living Waters. They've become one of my favorite in-state breweries. Everything I've had from them has been really tasty, and I've been to the brewery. It's a really cool spot, and just been very impressed by them as a whole. So we're gonna get into this one, and this is gonna be called Sentinel. And like I said, Living Waters, it's a West Coast IPA. So we just did a West Coast IPA from Hot Butcher, and it was killer. We'll see if this one can, stack up at all. This is a West Coast IPA with Chinook, Citra, and Simcoe, 7.8%. And they don't have a date on here. So anyway, most of the time when we get Living Waters beers in our town, they're usually pretty fresh. So they don't sit around long, and I try to pick them up as soon as I see them drop. So let's go ahead and get this thing poured. See if it has the appearance of a New England or a West Coast IPA. Sorry, it's looking a little more New England like. All right, we'll leave it there. Yeah, I mean that looks like that's a hazy IPA. So we'll take that for what it's worth. I mean, it doesn't look like a West Coast IPA, but that doesn't really mean it's not going to taste like a West Coast IPA. So, finger's worth. I have a bright white head. Small to medium bubbles. It's looking like we might get some lacing on here too. Maybe some alcohol legs. That looks like a hazy New England, and a beautiful one at that. Let's go ahead and shove our nose in it. Ooh, hold up. That's a little different. Dude, right off the bat, I'm getting like... What is that candy? It's like the powder. The powder that you have the stick that you can like dip in it. What are those? Fun Dip. That's it. Yeah, Fun Dip. It almost has like this Fun Dip type of thing going on. Weird. Or like a Pixie Stick candy. Dang, think of the orange Pixie Stick type smell, like that orange, like powdery. It's like that. It's almost got a little bit of like a Flintstone vitamin type of, type of characteristic to it as well, like chalky almost. Even though usually when I use the word chalky, it's more in like a texture type of way, but it's coming across, and that's probably not the right word, but it's like the smell that you get from those vitamins, but it's like it reminds me of that chalkiness for whatever reason. Anyway, aside from that, I'm getting a nice little bit of peach. I'm getting some, definitely some orange, a little bit of grapefruit, maybe even a little lemon. Maybe something else a little bit more tropical, but it's hard to pinpoint what it is. It's got a nice little malt backbone to it, though. Very bready. Very light, though. So, this looks like a hazy New England. It doesn't quite smell like your classic West Coast IPAs, but I'm not going to write it off yet, because a lot of breweries are starting to do a new school West Coast IPA, which I've been very fond of. They cut the bitterness back, add a little bit more juicy hop character, and I think they're mostly trying to keep it on the drier side, just like your classic West Coast IPA. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive in. We'll see what this thing has in store. Cheers. Huh. It's good. I'll give it that. I think in my head I'm trying to like compare this to some of the more classic West Coast IPAs. and it's just not that. Which, you know, I don't really mind. The beer tastes good. So I will say, it does have a nice little pop of bitterness in there, which gives it, a little bit of that West Coast type of punch. The hop profile, as far as just the fruit flavors, I mean, it's got this citrusy, orange, grapefruit. It's got a little bit of pineapple floating around in there. But aside from that, I'm not getting much of the stone fruit that I was getting on the nose. It's not as bitter as I was thinking it was going to be for a West Coast IPA. I will say, though, it is pretty dry. So very drinkable, though, especially for 7.8%. Really nice, though. It's got a really nice, juicy hop flavor to it. Still getting some of that pineapple, though, like I mentioned. It's coming through. It's got a light body to it. Like, if this didn't say West Coast IPA on the can, I would assume it's just like a New England IPA that's on the drier side of the spectrum. It's got a very juicy hop flavor to it. Like I said, it's very citrusy. It's got some pineapple. It's got a bit of a grassiness to it, but it's not coming across like super dank like some West Coast IPAs do. It's not weedy. It's not like piney. It's just got a little bit of like an earthy, slightly herbaceous type of note. But like I said, more on the grassy side as far as the dank type of quality. But it's got a lot of juicy hops though. I mean, and look at that appearance though. That is a beautiful beer. I mean, just that head retention is great. It's just sticking around like nobody's business. We're getting some lacing on there. I mean, killer beer, man. For real. I just haven't been disappointed with any beers from Living Waters yet, and I just think that after having, I'm somewhere between 5 and 10. I don't know how many, but they're definitely a solid higher tier brewery that we have in our state now. As I'm swirling it, that head is getting it's creamy and it's thick and it's just sitting around. I mean, I can't believe how long this head has been, just sitting there. And look at that lacing. I'd be surprised, not surprised. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like as the beer finishes. But anyway, yeah, to me, this is just more of a hazy IPA. I think the only thing that you could probably say is semi West Coast about this beer is the drying factor, and then maybe the hop profile, but those hops are not coming across like they do in a West Coast IPA. I've seen Citra, Chinook, and Simcoe used in, several different West Coast IPAs, but they definitely got the juicier portion out of these hops, the juicier substance from there, as opposed to, more of the piney, almost just, I don't know, less juicy, I guess. It's just more of like I think in West Coast, you could kind of make it out to be maybe more like on the citrusy side, but like on the pithy, like orange peel, like zesty side. This is like fleshy, like juicy. So anyway, that was a long roundabout way to say that. But anyway, as far as the rating goes on this one, I'm going to give this a solid 4.2. I think this is great. I would definitely buy this again. I think they did a killer job on it. If I had one complaint about Living Waters, it's just that there's no dates on the can. But that is just me nitpicking. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you can leave a like and a comment and subscribe. And let me know what you think, because I would really appreciate it. And also, let me know if you've had this beer. I would love to hear from you. And as always, we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.